Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show with local celebrity hosts Steve-O and Renee. Sit back each week while Steve-O and Renee educate you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve-O and Renee with today's expert in their field.
Good afternoon. You know, you keep hearing the announcers say Steve-O and Renee. Well, that's our brand. Renee has been busy for about the last 6 months working on our morning show. We have a 3-hour morning show every day, and it is crazy. So she's at home. She's working on tomorrow's show for us. So I am not stuck because I love doing the show. It's like it's the best 1 hour of my week. Anyhow, we are going to talk about tax relief today, and if you've been listening to us for any good period of time, you know that we have the best with taxation solutions, and we're going to do our show a little bit different today. First of all, I want to give out the phone number here. The number here is 888-565-1470. If you've got that dreaded letter from the IRS, maybe a family member, a friend, you might want to call them and tell them they need to listen to this show. So let me welcome you, the owner from Houston, Texas, my part of the country, Barry Fowler.
Hey, Steve, how are you?
Hey, Barry. How are you doing, bro?
Oh, man, just enjoying this terrible weather we've been having in Texas.
Really? Yeah, but you got the rodeo, don't you?
Yeah, we got the rodeo going on, but it doesn't make it much better when it's pouring down rain. You got to walk from where you parked to the rodeo. But it's indoors, so it makes it better.
Yeah. And you know what? Those football tickets are going to go up next year, aren't they?
Yeah, they have to go up quite a bit to cover watching, I guess, Brock play.
You got a new quarterback
for us. Yeah.
So let's get down to business. We're going to do the show a little bit different today. I'm going to read you emails. I'm going to let you answer these emails, and just a little bit different format today. If you want to call and speak to Barry, if you're having a tax issue with the IRS, call us right now at 888-565-1470. Barry, you've got, since we started this show, we always start off with tell everybody about taxation solutions. Well, it's going to take you longer now than it did 2 years ago because you've got so much going on now. You're in so many different markets.
Oh, it's been crazy for us. The last couple of years has been just growing gangbusters. When we started this, and I've been in the tax business for 30-plus years, but, you know, never expected to be where we're at today and how many people we help on a daily basis and how many people call us on a daily basis looking for help. You know, it's just been incredible.
Well, you've got, what, you have 50 locations now around the country?
50 locations. We do, I think, 5 different shows with you guys, Ask the Expert, around the country, and you know, it's been going gangbusters.
Well, if anybody would like, they'd like to watch the show right now, they can go to your website at www.taxationsolutions.net. Tell them why it's .net, Barry.
Hey, we're the safety net between you and the IRS.
And Barry made that up. I wish I could take credit for that. Barry made that up. So tell everybody the background, first of all, your background, how you started the company, and what Taxation Solutions does.
Well, my background is, you know, I started out in accounting with a CPA, became an enrolled agent, and have been just protecting American taxpayers from that dreaded IRS. What we found years ago was people going out there and trying to represent themselves and fight against the IRS was next to impossible. You know, we talk about, you know, on the morning show, we talk about on Ask the Experts, that the IRS is not your best friend. They want to come across as your BFF, as my daughter would put it. But and I hate to steal her little things, but, you know, that's her terminology. And I said, man, that sounds really good. Definitely the IRS is not your BFF. But, you know, what the IRS is trying to do is get as much money as they can, and what we're trying to do is keep our clients with as much money as they possibly can. And so there's a difference between we fight against the IRS and the IRS fights against you. So, Do you want somebody on your side, or do you want to just have somebody take your money? That's the choice.
Well, it's funny you brought up about enrolled agent, and our first question is, you keep speaking about an enrolled agent. What does that mean?
Well, for me, it means I'm the best of the best in the business. We're actually, enrolled agents are licensed by the U.S. Department of Treasury to represent taxpayers to the highest level of the IRS. The only place we can't go into is tax court, but that's why I have tax attorneys that work for me, because they would rather go into tax court and deal with that, and I would rather get it done the best way we can with the IRS and get it resolved. But if we need to be there, we've got the people and the best to take it there. Now, the other thing with me is I've also been recognized as one of America's premier experts in tax and tax resolution. And that just means that, hey, I've been doing this a long time. I know what I'm doing, and I'm one of the best in the industry. And it's not just me saying it. It's America's premier experts that recognize me as that.
Well, you know how I judge it. Barry, you've been with us for several years now. You've been in business for a long time. Boy, in your business, sometimes they just come out of the wall. But, Barry, you are a professional. When you've been in business for as long as you have, and you've got a clean record, that right there shows me that you are just on the up and up, and you take care of your clients. Because if you don't, you're out the door. You're gone. Close them up. And you have been, especially in this business. So what's so great about it is here's a company, Taxation Solutions, that you can trust. Because let me tell you something. This is something that people, Barry, I guess people like stay awake at night worried about.
Well, Steve, one of the big things is people stress over what's going to happen with them in the IRS, but more or less they ignore the IRS, they ignore the letters, they ignore everything that's going on before them because they don't really want to deal with it. They want to procrastinate. They think if I put my head in the sand and let it go, it's going to go away. The IRS is not going to go away. They are hungry for money like you wouldn't believe. I mean, look at the national debt. What are we, $20 trillion?
Almost $20 trillion.
We're in debt. Every dime they get, they're already spending it on interest, so they need more. They got to feed that hungry animal out there that we've created or let be created.
Well, this next letter is, I hear you talk about how you can settle for a lot less than you owe. Explain how you can do that.
Well, the way we do it is everything we do is on a case-by-case basis. There is no cookie cutter that say, hey, everybody we're going to settle for, oh, man, I hate this, and I don't even believe I'm saying this, pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
We hear it all the time, and we get people that call us all the time and say, hey, somebody told us we could do that. We could settle a lot of our clients and probably a majority of our clients for a lot less than what they owe. And sometimes it can be, $30,000 settling for $100, or over $100,000 settling for maybe $100, or maybe $300, or maybe $3,000, or maybe, $20,000. But it's a huge savings. And what we do is put everybody through our proprietary system that helps us go through and determine what we're going to get the settlement for. And then once we get it down to something that is reasonable, we find every way to get it down to something that is totally insane, but the lowest settlement you could ever qualify for with the IRS.
But, Barry, you've been doing this long enough. You know what you can do. You know your capabilities. You know the IRS.
Well, I know the IRS. I know the ins and the outs of the IRS. I know how the whole system works. Every one of my tax consultants who get on the phone and give the free consultation to our potential clients know exactly where I can get people to within a reasonable number. Now, they don't know everything that I do because I can't teach everything that's in my head. I can't teach everybody to be that way, but they know based on certain criteria that we can get people savings and we can get their debt reduced to the lowest amount possible allowed by law. And they sit down and they go through an extensive question and answer. Our question and answer is everything from, what do you got in your bank account? How much money are you making? Equity in the house, equity in your vehicles, any other investments or any other assets that you own, so that we can actually work through what the scenario is. And there are some people that will not qualify for an offer in compromise, and we tell them right up front that you're just not going to qualify for this, but we can get you into maybe a lower payment plan. We can get you into, instead of a full pay plan, we can get you into a partial pay plan. And a lot of times these clients will tell us, well, XYZ company over here told us we could settle this thing for pennies on a dollar. Well, we're telling you flat out, this is the reasons and this is what you can't do. Go back and ask them these questions before you sign the dotted line. And they'll still sign anyway because it sounds absolutely wonderful. But when they find out at the end of the day and we talk to them, they never ask that person a single question about their assets, their income, or anything else. It was just, here's our fee. We can settle this for pennies on a dollar.
Right. Well, Barry, that's one of the things I love about your company. You don't make false promises, and we, Renee and I, know that for a fact because we sent somebody to you, and you told them, flat out, I can't do anything for you. And listen, I'd rather hear that than someone make me a bunch of promises. And I found out later I spent all this money and it's gone.
Well, on top of that, we didn't even know who you had sent to us, but we found out afterwards talking with Renee.
Yes.
But when we talk to the client, not only do we tell them, hey, it's not that we couldn't help them because we could help them, we could put them on a pay plan, but we told them, here, instead of us doing this, why don't you do X, Y, and Z, and this is what will help you the best. We're not going to be able to settle your debt for pennies on a dollar. You have too much income, too much in assets to settle this for pennies on a dollar, but this is what the number should be. And if you can't get that with the IRS, then call me back, and then we'll help you.
Right. And I probably
Don't spend your
misspoke.
money on something that you can handle doing this because of the amount of money it was. Now, do I give everybody that advice?
No.
No, I don't. What I give them advice to do is, hey, we can settle this. We know how to settle this the right way. We can get this done. Here's what we can do. But if we look at it, the cost benefit isn't there for you. We don't want to waste your money. We want you to be able to go and get these things done. Now, again, if the IRS isn't going to compromise with you, isn't going to work with you, it isn't going to give you the pay plan that I told you that they should give you, then you call me back and we'll take care of you. It'll be worth your money because we're going to get you what you need.
Hey, Barry, you were just talking about offer and compromise. What might be a few reasons that they might not be able to do offer and compromise?
Well, the two biggest reasons we run into is you have a lot of equity in your house, maybe a fully paid off house, or maybe you're sitting on a house that has appreciated a lot in value since you bought it, because there are some of those situations that have happened, or maybe you got an inheritance of a house or something, and that leaves you with just too much in assets to qualify for that offer and compromise, no matter how much we try to reduce it down. Now, there's little techniques we can reduce those values down to maybe we can get it within range, but we've got to look at a lot of different things. And the other one that hampers us a lot is the 401ks, that you've put a lot of money into your retirement accounts, and the IRS is going to look at that money and say, hey, wait a minute, you can pay us from that. So we've kind of got to work around, some of those things. Now, if you're retired and you're living off of it, then I've got a whole other scenario because I can get around that. So, there's all kinds of techniques that we have. So just because you hear this and say, oh, I won't qualify, doesn't mean I don't have a way to get around it to help you to qualify.
Okay, we're going to go to break, and the name of the company is Taxation Solutions. You can go to their website at www.taxationsolutions.net. Barry, give them their phone number before we go to break.
It's 786-600-4351. That was 786-600-4351. Give us a call. We got tax consultants waiting to help you.
Well, there's There's just so many questions. We got about 15 more questions. So we're going to go to break. When we come back, we'll have more with Barry Fowler, owner of Taxation Solutions.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more? Is the IRS levying your bank account or garnishing your wage? Taxation Solutions protects the future of today's taxpayer and can get you a fresh start. Their staff of professionals have a genuine concern for the IRS issues their clients face. Taxation Solutions have programs to stop the IRS and help you solve your IRS debt, IRS audit, innocent spouse, IRS seizures, offers, and compromise. Taxation Solutions are the leading experts in the industry. They look at each case objectively and honestly to help their clients identify the best solution. Call today for peace of mind and a free consultation at 786-600-4351. Don't stick your head in the sand anymore. Call now, 786-600-4351, or go on their website, taxationsolutions.net. Call 786-600-4351.
Hey, we are back. Hey, Barry, you in your commercial mentioned $10,000. Is that kind of the bottom line where you like to start at if they owe $10,000 or more to the IRS?
Well, part of what we've got to do is put a value to what we do. If we're going to do an offering compromise, and let's just say you owe less than $10,000, or maybe it's $5,000 or something you owe. By the time we've got to charge what our fees are and have it make sense for us to do the work, there's got to be a good value for our clients and what they're going to save as well. Doesn't mean I won't help somebody under $10,000, but generally that what's going to happen is put them on a maybe a reduced payment plan, maybe even put them in CNC where it's currently non-collectible. So there's a lot of options out there, but that $10,000 number is kind of a magic number of you're going to have a really good savings if you hire us to get this done and put it in an offering compromise for you.
Hey, this next one, this is kind of a nice little follow-up. Mr. Fowler, I listen to your show every month. I want to know if I did this myself, would that be a problem? I already know the answer to this.
Actually, for the IRS, it would be absolutely no problem at all. They would love you to go about doing it yourself. But for you, I never recommend it. It's like going to or I guess what the most logical one is, if you wanted to be your own dentist and trying to pull your own teeth or fill your own cavity, it isn't going to work, and it's not going to be very comfortable, and it's not going to be any fun at all. Not to say a dentist is fun anyway, but that's beside the point. Here's what happens. Most people that go after doing an offering compromise themselves, they disclose everything under the sun to the IRS, and they disclose information in ways that it shows that there's more money available, and don't know how to use the national standards and use other evidence to show why we can go above certain standards. And it makes our job when you finally come to us much harder, because we got to fight back against what you disclosed to the IRS or told the IRS, right up front. And that's kind of why, if you hire us, we are the only ones that talk to the IRS. You never have to talk to the IRS. In fact, we give out all of our business cards and information so that if an IRS agent ever calls you and you are our client, all you got to do is give them our name, our phone number, and tell them that Taxation Solutions represents you, and you will refer this over to them. And then immediately hang up the phone, and then immediately call us and let us know that the agent called, and then we'll take care of it from there.
What I've learned from you, Barry, is that if you talk to the IRS yourself, you are going to give them a roadmap to your money.
Exactly.
And not even realize you're doing it.
Yeah, and I mean, it's simple and somewhat seemingly non-invasive questions. I'm trying to work with you and be that wonderful best friend. Now, you know what? Because we're on today, I'm going to be everybody's best friend, because if you have a tax problem, if you call my office, here today, call my office tomorrow, mention you heard us on the radio here on Ask the Experts, and we will give you $500 off resolving your tax problem.
Wow.
What that's going to make me do is, if my guys are not listening to me online right now at taxationsolutions.net, that's going to make me scramble and call my Florida office there and make sure that everybody's aware that we're giving $500 off right now.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's the first time we've ever done that. And if you have a question for Barry, we got about 10 more minutes left. Call us right now at 888-565-1470, 888-565-1470. The name of the company is Taxation Solutions. Hey, if you want to text me here, it's 954-336-3767, 954-336-3767. Barry, give them your 786 number here.
Yeah, the most important number you do need is our 786-600-4351, 786-600-4351. Now, Steve, you mentioned that we've got 50 offices around the country. I've got 5 right there in South Florida area, or the Florida area. And if you have family members or friends that need help, they can call us at 888-930-1016, 888-930-1016. And tell your friends or family to call us. We'll extend that $500 off to any of your friends and family that call us and mention they heard us on Ask the Experts. Now I'm just having to scramble to all my offices and let them know. So,
well, we just got our first text. Do you handle businesses?
Oh, of course. Of course. We handle all tax problems, individuals, businesses. And the next logical question that we get a lot of times is, why do most businesses get in trouble? I hate to see it, but it's mostly that dreaded payroll tax. Cash flow these days, it's been tough. The last 8-10 years, it's been tough in business, and sometimes the easiest place to find the money to make your payments to your vendors, or even just making your payroll for your employees, is to avoid paying that payroll tax. I mean, I just had to pay my payroll tax bill here today for this week's payroll. I think we had to pay almost $30,000 today.
Wow.
That is, sometimes we look at that number and go, oh my God, no way.
Right. And you can get behind real easy.
Yeah, and I mean, once you get behind on that, it snowballs. It's a mountain of penalties, and then followed by a mountain of interest. And then if you don't act quick enough to start getting in front of the problem, using Taxation Solutions, of course, is the civil penalty, which is can be up to 100% of what you owe. So add that to your problems.
This is another easy question for you. How do I know your company is the best for my situation with the IRS? Well, you handle all kinds of situations with the IRS, so you probably don't even need to know.
Well, one of the things that you can be rest assured of using Taxation Solutions is I only hire the best in the business. I hire the best tax attorneys. I hire the best enrolled agents. I have the best CPAs that work for me that can get in front of the problem, have the knowledge of the problem, and then on top of that, and on top of all the experience they have dealing with it, they get to pick my brain and everybody else's brain in the company to help resolve every tax problem in the best way possible. And you imagine having a meeting of all of my tax attorneys and enrolled agents, whether we're on Skype or whether we're in a conference call, being able to say, hey, I got a problem here, and I'm looking at this, any other ideas to do it, and we come up with some of the best solutions anybody could put forward. And we have a lot of fun doing it. And every one of the people that work for me, this is their passion in life. This is what they wake up every morning waiting to get in front of somebody's tax problem, solve it for them, and listen to the wonderful comments we hear every day of, oh, thank God that you were able to settle my $1.5 million tax debt for $22,000.
That's amazing. Hey, Barry, here's a guy who's a business owner. He said, if I owe payroll taxes, can the IRS come after my employees?
Yeah, we just had this discussion here this morning because we were just talking about a client whose secretary, get this is really bad, secretary got hit with the civil penalties on payroll taxes because she overheard the conversation of the owner and the manager talking about not paying the payroll taxes. And so this very rambunctious revenue agent with the IRS decided to hit her with those penalties because she did nothing about it. Now, granted, we're fighting for this lady and we're getting the civil penalties off her because she shouldn't have been hit with them. But if you've got signing authority on a checking account, IRS can hit you personally with civil penalties for not paying payroll taxes for the company because they feel like you had the choice to choose not to pay those payroll taxes and to pay those vendors or pay the employees or pay somebody else instead of paying the trust fund to the IRS. So yes, it is devastating.
Wow. So you could also you also can represent the employee too.
Exactly. We can represent the employee. We can represent the company. And a lot of times we get the company that'll hire us to represent the employee to get it off the employee because they didn't deserve it or they didn't really have the authority to do it. And so we're able to fight through all the red tape with the IRS and get that removed as well.
Well, your website, you got a great website. In fact, they can go back and watch today's show or even past shows. It's www.taxationsolutions.net. Make sure you put that .net in there. And what number do you want them to call you at, Barry?
Call us at 786-600-4351, 786-600-4351. Again, friends, families, maybe even your worst enemy, you can refer them to us. Toll free at 888-930-1016, 888-930-1016. And even if we don't have an office near your friends or your family, we can help anybody anywhere in the country and
right.
Pretty much anywhere in the world that has an IRS problem.
And don't be embarrassed. This happens to hundreds and thousands of people, and it's like a doctor, being afraid to take your clothes off so a doctor can examine you. You guys, this is what you do. And it doesn't make you a bad person if you got behind on your taxes but here you've got someone who can help you take care of it with Taxation Solutions.
And as Renee always says, we're the no judgment zone. We're not here to pass judgment on you. We're here to help you. We're here to solve your problem. We hear how this happens every day. And a lot of times people don't even know how it happens or know why they owe the IRS money, and sometimes the IRS is wrong. And we'll figure that out for you as well, and we will fix the problem for you.
I love what you guys do. It's the company's Taxation Solutions. The number here is 786-600-4351. Barry, we'll be talking to you tomorrow morning.
I look forward to it.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rodeo.
Thank you. All right.
We're going to go to break. When we come back, we have our estate planning show. We'll be right back.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more? Is the IRS levying your bank account or garnishing your wage? Taxation Solutions protects the future of today's taxpayer and can get you a fresh start. Their staff of professionals have a genuine concern for the IRS issues their clients face. Taxation Solutions have programs to stop the IRS and help you solve your IRS debt, IRS audit, innocent spouse, IRS seizures, offers, and compromise. Taxation Solutions are the leading experts in the industry. They look at each case objectively and honestly to help their clients identify the best solution. Call today for peace of mind and a free consultation at 786-600-4351. Don't stick your head in the sand anymore. Call now, 786-600-4351, or go on their website, taxationsolutions.net. Call 786-600-4351. When was the last time your will was reviewed, or do you even have one? Do you know that without a will, the government decides how your property is distributed upon your death? Did you know that without proper estate planning, your children would receive every penny of their inheritance on their 18th birthday to use or lose without any guidance? The law offices of Ginsberg Schulman provide their clients with comprehensive estate planning, probate and trust administration, guardianship, business planning, and wealth preservation. They believe that planning for the future should not be left until the future. Whether you are young, middle-aged, or in retirement, your life is